Hello and welcome to the monthly Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to us.fm/Sharmalade and I will do my best to answer your question as long as it's not too rude. Question number 1. What is the purpose of this website? The purpose of us.fm is for you to ask people questions and then we answer them back at you. And we can do that via the website or we can do it in video vlogs like this, however we desire. Okay, this one's in a different language. Let's see. Translate. Anyone like me? Don't know who you are. This is a real question from Dartmouth124. What age did you switch from pyjamas to something else? That never happened. I never made the transition. Is that what normal people do? There's a transition from pyjamas to something else. I love pyjamas. Are you kidding me? In winter, when winter comes around and I can actually get into those like thick fluffy pyjamas, I make my way through the year to get to winter to have the luxury of wearing those thick fluffy and I've got a lamb onesie which is literally my ultimate favourite onesie. Ian did get me another one which is like really fluffy, which is I mean I can't really slay any type of onesie. And I also have a Murloc onesie which I showed you guys in one of my vlogs dancing around in it, which Ember and Chris got for me at BlizzCon. I can't deal with the memory of it. I'm gonna cry. No, it's fine. I've pushed it down. Pushed it right deep down inside of me. Oh, BlizzCon was amazing. And yeah, so Ember and Chris got me a Murloc onesie, which have a look through my vlogs and you'll see me dancing around in it. From Harrison, why is my chair? What? That's a new squeak. Right, Harrison Fishwick, what are you having for breakfast? This morning I had porridge and I have Tuesdays and Thursdays where I fast, so I don't eat anything until about, if I can make it to about 5:30, that's good, but sometimes it's about 4 and then I'll have to eat something because I feel like I'm going to pass out. But this morning I had porridge. Sometimes I'll have 2 hard-boiled eggs with a bit of salt and pepper. But usually I'm not that hungry in the morning, but I know it's an important meal for me or else I'll burn out throughout the day, because in my last Q&A I mentioned about how I generally feel kind of tired during the daytimes, but night times I'm like psych. So I find that if I don't have a breakfast I don't get fuel for the day. What makes you sad? So many things make me sad. Coronavirus is making me really sad. Animal abuse makes me sad. And I watch a lot of true crime and that doesn't necessarily make me sad, it just makes me think like what the hell is going on in some people's brains, like seriously. Football or ice hockey? Football. Ice hockey's too oh god, like the whole, is the putt the thing that you hit, or is the putt the hockey stick, isn't it, and then the putt is what you hit, but the putt is it a puck or a putt? Whatever it is, it's like solid brick or something, or steel, and I don't understand why you would want to. I mean, I loved hockey at school, but we played it on, why am I thinking about ice hockey? You didn't even, oh you did say ice hockey, that's why I'm thinking of ice hockey, because you said it. So I used to love hockey at school, land hockey, like on just AstroTurf, until I really hurt this girl once, and I didn't mean to, but I lifted one of the worst things you can do in hockey is to lift your stick up like you're about to actually swing it for a golf ball, which is what I did, and my friend Ria was stood behind me and oh my god, I caught her in her hand and just whacked her, I heard it and everything, the crack, and oh my god, she went absolutely apeshit at me. I remember just turning around, I remember hearing her scream and I turned around and I was like, oh my god Ria, I'm so sorry, and she went, you effing bitch. I was like, oh no, and I knew she didn't mean it. It was because she was just really, she was in a lot of pain, and my PE teacher came over and she was like, she started defending me, and I was like, would you just need to like get her hand sorted out, because it's clearly, you know, I've hurt her. I mean, I didn't break anything, but you know, imagine having a hockey stick thwacked into your knuckles, it's gonna hurt. So that's probably why I prefer football. But I actually do support Tottenham Hotspur football, and they're getting bail. I mean, I don't know why I'm going into this, because football isn't, you know, a great topic to talk about. I find it's very political. But we do have a new player who used to play for us coming back, and it's Bale, and I'm very excited about that. The vegetable you hate the most is probably swede. I hate swede. I had a lot of swede growing up, and it was always so bland and watery, and just it's like eating mushy water. It's not good. Unless I just wasn't having it right. I've never prepared swede myself, so I don't know, you know, if it just wasn't being cooked properly. Post something worth reading. None of yous would like what I read. I read a lot of paranormal romance books, and they are literally just like the Vampire King sweeps the I don't know, virgin, okay, we're not going there, lowly human woman off her feet, and she goes to his land and she has to learn all of his culture and I don't know, stuff like that. But they're like, you know, paranormal, so they've all got like these powers, and it's just very fantastical, but also very 18 plus. How do you cool yourself in hot summer? Literally don't. Like, our houses are not built to be cool, they're built to keep heat in. So you can hear I've got a lot of fans going today, because whatever temperature it is outside the house, it is inside the house too. Brits don't necessarily have AC, and it's not worth investing in, because we don't, it's more cold here than it is warm. So the only thing that I can do to keep cool really is to just take plenty of showers and have the fans on. And I'm one of those people that gets really hot feet, especially at night in bed. My feet just, I mean, they're like the centre of the earth hot, and it keeps me awake, so I have to keep my feet cool. And even in the winter I have a fan on my feet, because my feet just get, they either go from being super hot or freezing cold, and then I always put them on Ian, and he's always like, oh, get your feet off me, they're so cold. In what moments do you have the most interesting ideas? Usually at night, and it's one of those things where, like, if you could see what I've got going on here, right? So I've got my usual planner, which I use to plan my weeks out for definites of what I'm going to be doing on that day. Like, that's a definite thing that I'm going to be doing. So today I've got 2 Q&As, some pictures that I need to take for a girl that I'm working with. Oh, and I've got another video to do, I forgot about that one. Right, so then I have another pad. Let me just make sure that I haven't written anything weird on it. I actually have. I've put eyebrows and tash and lol next to it. You know, girls have, you know, preening things to do. So this is my other notepad, which whenever I get something that I know I need to do, but I don't know where I'm going to put it in my week yet, in my planner, I'll put it in this notepad. And then I have another notepad, which is just for things in the moment that I'm like, I need to remember that. So it might be like boss tactics, or what have I got here? How to get my thing to record. Oh, what's it called? The Xbox record bar thing that you've got on Windows, because Fraps doesn't work anymore. So I've written down Win, Alt and R, that gets that recording. And just a couple of things that I want to do personally, like look up some EQ threshold things, watch some certain type of mixing videos. I've reminded myself to do some Halloween songs and like a hair dye and things like that. Crystarium deliveries, so just like that's something to do with the game. So just little things that don't really hold much importance, but that I don't really want to forget about. And then I have my actual yearly planner, which I write out by hand, and this is from 2018. So I have my different Patreon tiers. So this is actually my work one, and so I have my $1 tier, my $2, my $3, my $5 and my $10, and each of those tiers gets different things. I don't have a $1 tier anymore, but I still accommodate a $1 tier, if you know what I mean. And so that's something that I've written up since, I can even see that, I'm just being so dumb with showing you this. And so it's like, you know, each song, it's just everything that I need to get done for that month, and I make sure that I tick it off as I go, so that I know I've not missed anything. So that's a really, really important one. So what was the question? In what moments do you have the most I guess any time looking at those planners, because I just write things down and you know, I never used notepads or planners or anything until I hit about 30 years old, and that was the point that I went on Patreon, so it's been 5 years, and I kept everything in my head, and I don't know how. And I remember Ian saying to me, Jen, get a notepad and write everything down. And I filled out like 3 A4 pages of stuff that was in my head that was so important, like HMRC government stuff that I was just keeping in my head to remember. I'll remember to do that, remember to do this, remember to do that with that patron, remember to send that patron that thing. And it was all just in my head, and I don't know how I didn't just, like, what's the word? Combust. Self-combust. I don't know how I didn't just blow up. So now I have planners like everywhere, and I know exactly what they're for, even though they just look like I'm just writing rubbish. I know exactly what they're all for. Got really hot talking about that. That's because I'm passionate about notepads. What kind of dish can you cook? I can cook lots of different things. I never used to be the cook. Ian was always the cook. He used to always make me dinner. And then we kind of had like a role reversal, and now I'm always the one making the dinners. Apart from recently, when I change my diet and I go onto a bit of a sort of, I guess it's more like a plant-based diet. I don't have so much meat, and he has sausages and things like that, so he'll come home and do his sausages and what he wants to eat, and then I'll have what I'm having, and it's usually like corn, like fake meat, like mushroom. It tastes just like chicken, but it's like mushroom or whatever. But I usually do a lot of spinach, and I really like fish stock. I love fishy dishes, so I'll cook up a bit of cod in tin foil with butter and salt and pepper and a little bit of, just a tiny bit of oil, and then I'll let that steam in the oven in tin foil, like wrapped up, and then I'll make up a fish stock and put the cod, I'll flake it all up and put the cod in there, and then I'll lightly wilt some spinach, but not too much, and then I'll put that through the fish stock, and it is gorgeous. And then if I'm particularly hungry, and I shouldn't really do it, I will put noodles, like ramen, in there too, but I feel so heavy when I have noodles and pasta and things like that. But that's one of my favourite things to eat. And I also sometimes, if you want to get mega with it, you can also cook up an egg and put an egg on top of the ramen, and egg and ramen is just it's one of those things in life that's just so good it hurts. So anyway, that is it for this month's Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to us.fm/sharmvlog, and I will do my best to answer your question, as long as it's not too rude. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Stay safe and well and healthy, and look after each other and be kind and considerate to each other. And oh my god, I sounded like that Jerry Springer, except I actually meant it. Take care, and I will see you in a short while. Bye!